Hey, what's going on everybody? Paul Tech here, and in today's video, I'm going to be taking a closer look at the camera interface of the LG G5. So with the recent update to Android 7.0 Nougat, I've been getting this request, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. So here we go. First thing I want to show you is this little toolbar, this little pull down tab that you have. It's going to give you basically some different options to share your photos or videos there via Facebook, YouTube, Messenger, Hangouts. So that's a pretty neat feature you have right there. Moving on from there, if you click up on top, it's going to take you into your wide angle mode there. And the wide angle mode is an 8 megapixel wide angle camera. And then you can also switch it back to your 16 megapixel main camera as well. So you got that 16 megapixel standard camera and then the 8 megapixel wide angle mode there. It looks really nice. I really like all the coverage you get with that wide angle mode there. So moving on from there, you got these other options here for manual controls on the left hand side. And manual controls is pretty nice. There's a lot of good features you have, as you can see on the bottom there. Now these manual controls only work for taking pictures, taking images. It does not work for videos. So there is no manual controls for video. Only manual controls are for taking photos. So just keep that in mind. And then moving on from there, you have your auto mode, and then you also have your simple mode as well. So the simple mode is just going to keep your display clear, and all you have to do is just press or tap on the display to take a picture. So that is the simple mode. So if you press those three dots up on the corner there, it's going to get you the manual, auto, and then the simple option as well. So go ahead and get back into auto here. And then moving on from that, you do have your flash right below that. So you can either have that enabled, disabled, or just have that in auto. Right below that flips the camera around to the 8 megapixel front facing camera. Flip that back around, and then let's go ahead and take a look at the different modes here. So you got quite a bit to choose from. Take a look at this pop-out feature mode that you have here. I've actually used this quite a bit. I really like using this mode. And right below there, you got 4 different options to choose from. I really like the lens blur with the fisheye. Just gives you just this really nice photo. As you can see there, when you do take a photo, it does take about a second just for it to save. And moving on from there, you got some other features. Looks like about 5 different ones that is going to just kind of give you different ways of taking a picture in this pop-out mode here. So I'll go through all of them here just so you can see. Let me just fix the camera there. All right, so yeah, like I mentioned, it has these 5 different other features here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. As you can see there, and then you can apply the fisheye, the lens blur, the black and white option to any one of these other pop-out features you have here in this mode. But yeah, those are the 5 that you have there. And you know, this is a real neat feature. I found myself from time to time just using this, just playing around with it outdoors, taking photos, and it's a really neat feature there. All right, let's go ahead and move on to multi-view. So you have this other option here where you can have kind of the split camera view, and you can have up to 3 different views there, as you can see. So, and also you can switch it up around to your liking, and then you also get this last feature, which is 4 different split views that you're recording in. So that's pretty neat. I don't know if you can see my shirt there. I got this really neat shirt, but I'm going to show it in the next video actually. Let's go ahead and move on from there, and then you can actually tweak this a little bit here to your liking. And let's go ahead and jump on to this other one here. So snap video, you can assemble short video clips into 60-second short films. The screen orientation will not change during the recording. So that is another feature you have there. Kind of just show you real quick. I won't record or anything, but just so you have an idea of how it looks. And then moving on, of course, you do have your panorama mode there. So you can take a panorama in portrait orientation, and it's going to be able to capture a wider field of view there. And it just basically gives you some instructions there. And as you see there, you got to just kind of tilt the LG G5 there, and you'll be able to capture your panorama modes there. And of course, you have slow motion video, so that's another nice feature on the LG G5. I've used this quite a bit. And then you also have time lapse. So the time lapse mode actually works excellent. I've posted videos in the past of time lapse that I've actually filmed on the LG G5. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Those were the different modes that I showed you. So let's go into settings here, and then I'll show you the different features you have for photos and video here. So as you can see there, you can kind of change the size of the image you'll capture. You got Ultra HD recording there. You got the full HD at 60 frames per second. So that's what's new with Android 7.0 Nougat. Full HD recording and HD recording as well. So I should also mention optical image stabilization does not work in Ultra HD or Full HD at 60 frames per second. You do have your high dynamic range, your HDR, so you have that feature as well. Right below that is going to give you your different filters here. So for either taking photos or capturing videos, you got about 9 different film filters there you can kind of play with and just change up your videos or photos. You got a timer mode there, and then you also have the cheese shutter. So either you can say cheese, whiskey, LG, smile, and those will take a photo without you even having to tap on the shutter button or the display. Image stabilization there, you can use OIS to remove motion blur when you take a photo or video. And that works pretty good, the optical image stabilization. And then there's also this kind of steady cam option as well. So you got these 2 features there. Grid lines is right below that. So you have your grid lines there, as you can see. And go ahead and disable grid lines. Go ahead and go back up to the top here. And yeah, like I mentioned, full HD at 60 frames per second. The optical image stabilization, the Steadicam, is not going to be available, and the same thing in UHD as well. So you cannot use OIS in those 2 modes there. And let's go ahead and kind of flip that around again. Check out that wide angle mode there. I mean, it's an 8 megapixel wide angle mode. It does look nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the features you get with this as well. Now you get the can record in full HD at 60 frames per second in the wide angle mode, and it does look nice. It looks really nice. It has really improved since the recent update to Android 7.0 Nougat. And go ahead and swap the camera around there. And then you can kind of see the different modes you have there as well. So you still get the timer. You still are able to record in full HD. No 60 frames per second with the front-facing camera. You still get filters on that front-facing 8 megapixel camera there. And get the cheese shutter, auto shot. So you can take selfies with the front-facing camera using face detection. So that's a neat feature you do have there while taking photos with the front-facing camera. And go ahead and go into settings, see what else we can see here. And looks like that's about it. These modes here are just going to actually switch the camera around back to the 16 megapixel rear facing camera. You can slide your finger across the display and you can switch the camera from the front facing camera back to the rear facing camera as well. So go ahead and put that camera back on auto there. And then let me go ahead and show you just how the LG G5 does when it comes into zooming into a subject here. So I'm actually pretty far out in the field there, and it is, I mean, it's focusing out pretty far there, all the way out to the tree. I don't know if you guys can see with this camera that I'm using here, but it is pretty far out there, and you know, the G5 is doing a pretty good job with reaching all the way to that far distance there. I would say it does get somewhat distorted in full zoom when you're in this camera. You know, full zoom, I mean, it's going to reach all the way pretty far, but there is going to be some distortion in the image when you are in full zoom, whether you're recording. You'll notice that. But for the most part, in pretty much all aspects of the camera of the LG G5, I think it does an overall excellent job. I mean, I haven't really used a camera where when I zoom in all the way that there isn't some distortion. And like I said, the G5 is zooming in pretty far there, and it's actually doing a good job reaching that far distance. Let me go ahead and back up out of the zoom here, and you can just see just how far I am. Go ahead and put it all the way back. Go ahead and take a picture on the LG G5 here. So one thing, after you take your photo, just press up in the right hand corner there, that circle, and then you'll be able to preview your photo. Double tap to zoom in, and honestly the camera takes some really nice photos. They come out really crisp looking on the LG G5. And yeah, hopefully this video will help you, in your decision if you're smartphone hunting, and gives you an idea of all the features and functions the LG G5 camera has. Again, there's 3 total cameras on this: 16 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel wide angle camera, and then the 8 megapixel front facing camera. So that's basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. And this is Paul Tech. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.